Welcome to Bring Out Your Geek, talking walking comics.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You're holding your head, Jeans. I haven't even started to talk yet.
Yeah.
That comes later. Oh, I know it's coming.
Oh, yeah. We are talking issues 38 and 39.
Yeah, because we haven't quite mastered the count yet in terms of understanding what works. But we're going to try 2 this time, see how that goes. We've tried about every other number, so this will be good.
Yeah, just need to keep the episodes under 30, and I think it'll be fine. But yeah, so we're hoping 2 will cover it, and we'll see. Because I think 1 will be too few.
So we're at the next number after that. We'll see how it goes.
1.5. All right.
You'll
So, issue 38. Well, when we left 37, Lori wanted to talk.
Yeah, awesome.
Which
Great.
I'm always leery of. So we open up 38 in that spot. I do want to say the cover is quite cool.
Very cool.
Nice shot of Tyrese.
With kind of a very angry looking Andrea over his shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and a zombie, and another one of these kind of reflection shots where in the scope of the gun you got a zombie head. But Tyrese probably missed, given our experience. He was not a crack shot. He was more of a hammer man.
Yes, he is. Okay, so we talked about the cover. Now to talk about Lori wanting to talk. So she wanted to talk about Shane.
Yes.
Which, I'm fine with, but Rick really didn't want to have anything to do with that.
No, he did not, and then finally he kind of, cops do. There's awareness that there was a Shane and Lori get together, but he didn't want to talk about it, but he acknowledges it and says, "We're done talking about that," and he cries a little bit.
He does.
So
and then we move on because anything further away from Lori is always better.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Anywhere else.
So the supply party, which is Tyrese, Axel, Glenn, Andre, and Michonne, they left in the RV to go to get supplies from. I have it in my notes, and I can't find it.
They're going to the
National Guard.
Yeah, National Guard Armory.
Yes, National Guard Armory. So so they were headed off there. So they're all cramped and sleeping in tight RV quarters, and apparently Andrea gets woken up very rudely by Tyrese's feet.
Yes, in her face, and she's not too happy about that. And I guess this is a flashback when they used to kind of all have to huddle in there. They've kind of grown accustomed to the luxurious prison accommodations where you don't have feet in your face. So she wasn't too happy about that.
And they try to do a little shooting at walkers. Tyrese hits his shoulder.
Yes. So.
Andrea, our crack shot, blows the head apart.
That's right. Which is why they really should have, in the reflection of the scope for Tyrese, showed the zombie's shoulder instead of the head, because he never gets really close. So.
Very misleading.
Yes, but they do that on the covers from time to time.
Then we go back to Lori.
Again.
She gets the thumbs up from Alice for doing a good job being pregnant, I guess.
Way to gestate, Lori. Good job.
Yeah, I know. And then we cut back then to the RV again, and Axel apparently has to take a leak.
Yeah, that's perfectly normal.
It is perfectly normal. It doesn't need to take up 3 panels. That is with sound effects. Doesn't need to happen.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, I'll give you that. I think that. Oh man, and I'm editing myself. I'll have you
Cut it
know.
out. Just do it.
I had a 3-panel joke, and I'm just not even going there. But yeah, so they dwelled on it perhaps a little bit more, but it was kind of a cool way that he didn't exactly go particularly far away from the RV, and there's grousing about that. But then he's kind of like he manages through his powers of urination to uncover the Woodbury sign, or I mean the sign to the armory,
Right.
that it's really close. He's like, how about that? Aren't you glad I took a leak? So now they know where they need to go.
Yes.
And they get there, and they see something that we will see again later. They see a tank.
Mm-hmm. You skipped over the gardening. You don't want to discuss
Oh,
gardening?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm good, actually. I was just pointing out the fact that it was glaze overable.
Okay. And then there was gardening.
There was gardening. And then we go back and we find there's a tank. Yay,
tanks.
tanks!
Yeah. Tank versus garden. I want to talk about the tank.
Yeah.
What a different story it would have been if they had just applied themselves and driven that bad boy back to the prison,
And there's a little bit of sort of, I don't know what it is, between Michonne and Tyrese. He asks her if she's okay, and she blows him off. And then there's like nothing else said about it. Okay.
It's kind of like the way the TV show's going lately.
The drama. I know. I was like, it was so bad because I was reading, because obviously read this, a couple of years ago, but rereading it, I was like, oh, Tyrese.
Yeah, and it's just such a different type, and that's the tough thing here is that you had Chad Coleman was playing TV Tyrese, and Chad's awesome. He's a very good actor and all that. So it wasn't like he didn't have somebody who could deliver whatever you needed, but
It just didn't give him much to deliver.
No, outside of babysitting. So, but comic Tyrese is pretty cool. Not a good shot, but pretty cool.
Yeah, not a good shot, and really bad relationships with women.
No.
And then Billy goes to the infirmary in the jail. We kind of cut back and forth. There's a lot of sort of zipping back and forth between I think a lot more than usual. Normally they kind of focus in one place for a little bit longer. This was very sort of, I don't know, sort of ADD.
Yeah, it was little teeny chunks. So what do you complain about 3 panels of Axel? That at least that kind of drug out that for a little while longer. But they had done 1 panel, they'd been right back.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So cuts back to the This was like super weird, but it was like supply party jail, supply party jail, supply party jail. Okay.
Yeah, and Billy and Alice chat a little bit.
Yeah, and what I think is kind of funny is that we find now that Alice has no idea how to deliver a baby after she's been, putting the stethoscope to Lori's belly and, giving her the thumbs up on way to gestate and stuff. She has no idea. She's reading a book from the male's prison library, which I think is funny. The male prison library. You know what I'm getting at, right? The all men prison library apparently has a book on women giving birth, which I think is bizarre and funny.
It seems unnecessary, or from a priority standpoint, a lower one.
Yeah.
If you're stocking your library, but indeed that's what. Yep, I'm reading about birth and babies, so that's got to be a confidence builder. But
yeah. So Billy's got a headache. Wah wah. All right, then we cut back to the supply party, and they decide they are not going to leave the National Guard supply depot intact.
So what do you think about that call? Not using any of your forward-looking capabilities, but at this point in time, would you?
No.
Yeah.
I suppose if you are absolutely hell-bent on making sure that the governor's men or any of those people don't ever get supplies ever again, I suppose. but you don't really get the sense that they took as much as they probably could have if that was going to be the case. If they were going to blow it up, you didn't really get the sense that they filled up the RV to the point where, I don't know, the shocks were squeaking like they should have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just seemed kind of premature, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, it is, and I struggled over it a little bit because so they've gone and they're cleaning it out. At this point, the folks in Woodbury, governor doesn't have like a particularly strong handle on where these folks are at or how many. So this becomes obviously more evidence. If they just took stuff and left, he knows somebody else had hit the armory.
Right.
Which would kind of put him on alert, and they probably couldn't be too far away, or I don't know if he'd know that. But I think drawing attention, doing things that draw attention, seems like a bad idea on both the zombie and governor level.
Yeah, I agree.
But they did, and it goes boom. And
then they race. They race for whatever reason. Maggie insists on getting around front of the RV that gets run. I don't know. Anyway, she wants to go shopping at Walmart.
Yes.
Is the whole point of that entire scene, which there's a big deal where they're driving out like a Hummer.
Yeah.
And the RV, and they're racing kind of each other, and she wants to get around front of Dale because she wants to tell everybody they have to go shopping at Walmart.
And it's open. they're able to. Lucky for them, it was open.
Yeah.
And they secure a few things, including so Maggie went and got a crib for Lori,
Mm-hmm.
and then she got a second crib, which caused some people to go, You said you didn't need it. You never can have enough cribs, I guess. But
yeah, makes you think that they're not being as careful as Herschel had requested they be.
yeah, I would say yeah. It's like he only had one rule, and it would seem to me securing a second crib is an indication that one rule is not so good. Not in
Agreed.
good shape.
So, and the last frame of this looks pretty awesome. It's guys with guns coming into Walmart.
Yeah. Shockingly enough, the large explosion has drawn attention.
So bizarre.
It's such a weird one.
Then we go to 39,
Mm-hmm.
which has an interesting cover.
Yeah, tell me what you've read there, because we've established that sometimes I jump to incredibly wrong conclusions on these covers. I had a prison proposal on a recent cover, so what do you see there, Gene?
Wait, it's just somebody. It looks like a doctor after a very bloody surgery is what it looks like. So
Okay.
I think the idea of all of that coming out of a birth onto the, because she's wearing an apron.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of that coming out of a birth was sort of, I don't know, seemed like a lot, bit much blood for that. So I was thinking probably someone was going to be wounded, or it was just, malarkey, because that happens with these covers.
Yeah, so that's much better than mine.
Let's have it.
It's like, why is the Walmart butcher so sad? So it's like, it looks like a butcher's apron, and there's enough blood to go through, but
It does.
I didn't dwell that it was. I only briefly thought it was the butcher from Walmart, but I did at least temporarily kind of think that. Sorry. So,
That's funny, actually. No, don't be sorry.
just,
So Glenn decides he's going to go out and talk to our guys with guns.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't go so well.
No, it doesn't, and there's a shot fired,
Mm-hmm.
and one of our folks drops.
Yep. So Glenn gets shot in the chest, and the guy. There's 4 guys. Four guys.
Yes, 4 guys.
And the head guy is bald, and he's in charge. That's really he's really not noteworthy at all.
Bald
Anyway,
and in
and I
charge.
thought the important bit is that Andrea, who is all the way like back to the store, she's behind everybody. Our crack shot fires sort of almost through the crowd and gets their leader right across the throat.
Yep.
And it was one of the only times, I think, because they shoot Glenn and he is like off his feet. He's pushed back off his feet. He flies through the air. Carl gets a chunk missing out of him, half the size of his head. This is like one of the only times when they shoot the bald leader, it just goes through his neck, and that's it. There's no carnage, just
Big
2 holes.
Explosion. and more melee continues, and Michonne works to dispatch some of the other baddies.
Yeah, she chops that guy's hands off. He's holding that gun, and she just...
Which is an effective method.
And then Andrea kills the other guy, so there's 1 left, right? No.
No, at that...
No, because Michonne got 2. So Andrea got the last
Michonne
one.
got 2, and she got 2 and thirds of 4. Yeah. So they're all accounted for, and they're all dead now. And then eventually Axel makes his way out of Walmart. I wonder what aisle Axel was infatuated in Walmart. It took him a while to come out. But I don't know.
And you want to venture a guess on that?
I don't think he was in the sundries aisle. I don't think that would be. I don't know. I think there's like a fish and tackle section in Walmart probably that might be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with. I was gonna go with like the hunter area.
Looking for some camouflage.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then big sigh of relief. Glenn's not dead.
Yeah, because his body armor protected him, so he's just bruised badly.
Yeah. Did you for a second think when you read this the first time that Glenn was gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to. I mean, it's tough because it was a while back, and so you go back and reread it, since you already have certain knowledge that he's around for future episodes. But yeah, I think I did too, because it looked pretty. Had that Walking Dead flair of that guy's dead.
Yeah, there was definitely debris from the impact. I mean, the way that the panel was drawn, it was actually from behind Glenn, so you see him. Like his back is like flying at you, but there was debris coming off of his chest, so it looked like they got him really good. And initially, when I read it, I thought he was dead.
Okay.
So now we gotta go back to the prison.
It'll be over soon.
It will. So Lori
Hang
goes
in there.
Yeah, Lori goes into labor, and I want to say there's a great panel of Lori being a pregnant, labor-ridden, pissed-off woman with this horrific face that she makes. She's screaming at Rick about something. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember this horrible face she's making. It was awesome. I'm like, that's what she's really looks like. That's Lori right there. That panel.
Inside Lori has come outside for us all to see
Exactly.
at this point in time. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And Rick, meanwhile, as the smart guy, goes, well, maybe I should go find some gas for the generator. I should go. She wants him to stay.
Yeah. So Billy and Dale decide that they're going to go. Well, Alice says they're going to lose light, and she wants to be able to deliver the baby using light, because that would make things easier. Yeah. And so she sends Billy to go turn on the generator. He doesn't know how to do it, so he goes and gets Dale. And then they go and find out that there's no gas in the generator, and then they have to go siphon from the cars in the prison parking lot, which does not go well.
Not at all. Billy's never really been worth a lot. Yeah,
boring.
He's not a helpful entity.
No, he's a lot like Alan was before Alan died. Just
he's a younger Alan.
Yeah. So, yeah. Dale
And
gets bit
bit in the ankle.
in the
Another
ankle.
another ankle biter.
Yeah.
Thanks to Billy and his idiocy.
Yeah, and I think he acts actually more like an idiot after Dale is bitten than he does before.
Yeah.
He's stupid enough to sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah, because there's some opportunities at this point. I mean, he can't really make good, but that he could do some things to not make it worse, like
Exactly.
be able to articulate what has happened in the situation to say
No.
this has happened. We need to get to this, but he's
No. He just sort of runs around flailing his arms. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Well, that's helpful. So, if we ever have an apocalypse, Billy is not allowed on my team.
I'm yeah, going to be the last guy picked for the zombie kickball team. I don't know who's he going to end up with, but I'm hoping it's not my team either. But
Well, the good news is if he does end up on your team, he's probably first out.
that's true. Hey, yeah, I guess there's that. There's that.
For talking dodgeball, he's probably first out. Is what I'm thinking.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. So, he runs around like an idiot, not knowing what to do, and luckily, the RV shows up just in the nick of time, and they get Dale inside
Yeah.
back inside the prison.
Where we learn another piece of information. Would you like to share it, Jeans?
It's a girl.
It's a girl. It's a Lori Jr. It's the next one.
Oh, bad so little ass kicker is born, except she'll never be called ass kicker because there's no Daryl.
There's no Daryl, and we won't spoil other things about it.
Well, I mean, but that's where that name comes from.
Right.
That awesome baby name.
That is an awesome
Walking Dead.
Yeah, and they even wrote it on a box that they kept her in.
Right.
That sounds bad, but in her sleeping.
They kept her in like a puppy.
Yeah, her little nestle place. But yeah, Little Ass Kicker was an awesome name. Or is an awesome name. But,
it is.
Yeah, so it no Walmart butcher. I kept waiting to kind of see him show up. Thought maybe he'd show up to help with the delivery, but again, they do this thing where they kind of, because you knew Lori was close,
right?
And then so you get to a cover like, oh no, what happened? What went wrong? But sadly, Lori lives to another.
Lori dead?
Yeah, you enter with hope, and
no,
but not so much.
Not so much.
All right. Yeah, this delivery was significantly different than the television show delivery.
I know, and because this happens fairly sort of early on, and by the time the birth rolls around on the television show, a whole other series of events has actually happened in the comic, and so I was really curious to see sort of like how they were going to manage that and what they were going to do. And it's totally different because there's no furthering of Carl's need for psychological care in this. Yeah. Whereas on the television show, I think really his entire life is just fodder for the psychiatric chair.
Yeah, although I most recent episodes, and when I say episodes, I mean episodes.
Episodes of the television show, yes.
I, who have not been a particularly large fan of TV Carl in the past, he's a fairly reasonable, functional member of this group, and particularly on some of the recent episodes, one of the more likable ones, because a bunch of people are becoming pretty mopey and unpleasant. So.
I think the turning point for Carl was sitting on the roof with the pudding. This giant can of
big can of
pudding.
Pudding makes it better.
It does.
There you go. There's your episode title.
Excellent.
Great.
So I do. I think that episode was sort of Carl's turning point, and he's more of a man now,
Yeah.
or has manned up, or however you want to put that, than previously. But so many things happen to him on the show that you're just like, wow, he's gonna require meds.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the comic, he's got it slightly easier and a little more smooth sailing, and he's sort of kept out of the fray a lot more.
For a while.
Yeah.
Certain things come up here down the road that I wouldn't say are ideal for Carl.
True.
In terms of,
True, but I mean, the things that have happened, sort of up to the point through his sister being born, relatively calmer,
Yep, fair enough.
I guess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because cutting your sister out of your mom and then killing your mom is a whole other ball of wax.
Just a bit. Just a bit. It's a tough day.
Yeah.
Tough day. How's your day, Carl? Not so good. Which I loved later when I think it was the next episode when they're patrolling through some of the prison, and it's Daryl and Carl, and Daryl's being a good guy and trying to support Carl and comfort him a little bit, and so Daryl kind of talking about his mom. Mm-hmm. And my mom was drunk and smoked all the time and burned herself up smoking and bread. And Carl's like, yeah, I shot my mom. It's like, I think I win here.
I get the Xanax, okay?
That's right. So the other thing to think about here is that maybe, and I'm willing to entertain this, maybe Eugene is not going to target Daryl for Team Jort, but he's going to move over to Carl. So maybe Carl, like a little mini Eugene, and it would be that could be pretty awesome. No?
Oh my God.
Rick would kill Eugene instantaneously.
Or we would hope, anyway. We'd be praying for it. Every other tweet would be like, just get rid of him.
Kill him now. But,
although there's lots of tweets going on about Eugene like that now, so.
About killing Eugene?
Yeah.
You hang around a tougher crowd than me. I'm not getting that on Twitter right now. But I don't usually watch a lot of Twitter during The Walking Dead because
I do.
I try and stay focused as much as I can. I look a little bit, but
I did try and stay focused until I did the quiz.
Yeah.
And my best score was like 227, which is really, really high considering the thousands of people that play that game. And then I decided not to pay that much attention anymore because I was never going to beat that score.
Yeah, I last week I was in the triple digits there. I don't think that low. I don't think I was that close, but it was. Yeah, it's tough because usually you get them all right and you answer them and you're like, congratulations, you're number 14,200. Yeah.
Exactly.
That doesn't feel so good.
I know.
All right.
I know, it's funny. Yeah, somebody's got a fantastic internet connection. They're just zipping in there way before you, no matter what.
I declared chicanery here because it just I don't know how you could, because basically someone's got to be instantly hitting that. I don't see how it can happen. Because it's like you see their final score and it's like they've lost 3 because the timer starts to pull the points down. It's like if there are 3 questions, they're just down 3 points. So it's like instantaneously, this boom, that's the answer. But
yeah,
I don't know. Well, congratulations on 227. That's very impressive.
Thanks. It'll never happen again.
Yeah. Way to quit, never try again. Way to go.
Well, exactly. That was I want to say maybe the second quiz. And then after that, it was just everything was like, you are number 20,406. I was like, all right, that's enough of that. So I don't pay as much attention anymore just because I know I'm not. And I know you still play the quiz, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So.
I like this whole story sync, the 2-screen stuff, the story sync during Walking Dead, and then the interaction for Talking Dead. I think they do add a lot, and so for when Walking Dead is airing, I have Story Sync up, and that's what I just try and balance. And it's kind of tough to have Story Sync and Twitter and The Walking Dead.
Right.
I can't do that. Too hard for me.
Gotcha. It's a lot of multitasking.
Yeah, little much. I think
A little bit.
little too many RPMs for this little engine. So I just need to keep it a little slower. But
So.
cool. Well,
right.
then we're going to be back next time to talk about 40 issues 40 and
Very
41.
good. Exactly.
There you go.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, everybody.